Good afternoon. My name is Terry Estrada. I'm a watercolor artist, and today I'm going to walk you through step by step on how I'm going to paint these huge slices of watermelon. So I have already pencil drawn in my sketch, and I've tried to do it as dark as I could so that the camera can pick it up. I'm going to lift it. There we go. So it's a rough sketch of where I want my watermelons to be placed and how the setup would be for my shadow and for the background. So I am not going to use my kneaded eraser. There's some parts that are a little bit darker, but because I'm going to use a darker background color, I'm not necessarily worried or scared about my markings. So let's get started. I use Daniel Smith watercolor paints, and I am using a quill mop brush in a size 2, and I'm using both a size 6 and a size 2 in my silver black velvet watercolor brushes, and also a size 6 Winsor Newton round brush here. So let's just get started. I'm going to do just clean water, and I'll let you know the colors as I'm going. And today this is a 6 by 8, but I've marked it down a good ½ an inch border on all sides so that whenever I frame it, nothing's out of frame. So I am going to start with Opera Pink, and Quinacridone Red is right next to Opera Pink, and I am going to use both of these colors, but for right now I just want to lay down a thin layer of Opera Pink over the entire sections of watermelon. And you're going to say, Terry, my watermelon's not pink. I've been getting kind of duds of watermelon, and since I have two and I want the same tonal value in both of my watermelons, I'm going to go ahead and do both sides. Even though this back watermelon will have some deeper colorings to keep it away from where I have the front slice of watermelon. I want this to be a complete layer. Okay, so I'm rinsing my brush off. And I don't normally, I do have paper towel, but I'm really loving this, just an old towel, dish towel area. So now I'm going to go into, I have a Serpentine Genuine here, but I'm also going to mix it with a little bit of Hansa Yellow Light. And so I'm just adding water to get my pigments alive. So I'm going to mix that together, and I'm not going to fully mix it. So I'll have some yellow and some green on my quill brush, and it's going to puddle a little, and that's fine with me. And it's going to be the brightest layer of watermelon. Okay, I am now going to switch to a smaller brush. I'm going to go to my 6. That's not a mop. This holds water, but not as much water as my quill. My quill holds a ton of water. So now I'm going to go back just into that Serpentine, and I've outlined on my watermelon where I want the little ridges to go. So I'm going to introduce that color now. And right here, I'm going to take just a clean brush, and I'm just going to come back and touch on where the green touches that pink. Just clean, wet brush. Ochre pink does not like to be retouched. So once you've touched the pigments with water, it will disperse. And that's kind of the reason why I sat down with ochre pink first. Because it will let me move it. It'll let me take it off. Again, this is just a damp to dry brush coming in just to take off that inner layer where the watermelon rind meets the watermelon flesh. So I've had insomnia for the past couple of days, and I've not been sleeping well at all. And I just tried to lay down just now, and I still couldn't. So I thought, well, maybe I'll get this painting done and then be able to go to sleep. So hopefully you guys, I'm not putting you to sleep, but hopefully this will help me go to sleep. I've also got a surprise for y'all afterwards. So I'm going to let that melon dry. I'm going to pick up my quill again, and I'm going to go into French Ultramarine. And if you followed along to any of my paintings, you know I love French Ultramarine for my sky process. So I'm dabbing on wet on dry, but now I'm going to pick up some more water and just swoosh that around. I want some hard lines, but not too, too hard. I am going to come just outlining. And you see my quill has tons of water on it. So I'm going to take that hard line where I added. Okay. Because it's loaded down, I can just add droplets wherever I want, and it's going to add texture to my background. It's going to give it some kind of, loose activity here. Make it look whimsical. Hello. All right. And for my table area, I'm going to use quinacridone gold with a hint of lamp black, which will give me this kind of dark browny color. If I add some green to it, it'll really go brown. I'm just adding water now. And it is going to be darker on this side, on the left. My shadow is coming this way. Hey Amanda, thank you for tuning in. And I'll add more shadow later. I'm going to go to my nickel azo and just dab in some yellow color here and there. All right. Did you see what I grabbed? I grabbed some phthalo blue. And phthalo is just kind of adding some sparkle. And because my quill is so wet, it will literally just pick up and move wherever I want. Just tap and tap and tap. So with fresh water, I'm going to go into my quinacridone red and start getting the watermelons ready. And again, I don't mind that it's touching my opera pink, because I'm using opera pink and quinacridone red in these watermelons. So what I need to do is bring this slice forward and this side back. So I want to make sure to add some dark and light spaces, because watermelon is just that, light and dark. But I also need to understand that, like right here, I want this to be the darkest spot on this watermelon side. So I can come in, make my little watermelon slice, and then come in and just do some dabbles with it. Okay, I've cleaned off my quill, and now I'm just going to come in and move the pigment around. Remember, we want to have a little light edge to where the watermelon meets the rind, and same here. But I'm mopping up some of the quinacridone red, because I don't want them to look like they're the same slice of watermelon, which they're not, and you can see that they're not, but I just want to make sure with just hover around the top of that second slice of watermelon, because it's in shadow also. That will help us too. Now I can add, there's texture in our watermelons, sometimes especially when we cut it. So I'm going to try to add that, also not allowing a hard line by the rind. Dipping back into my quinacridone red, and I'm just going to intensify where I want this to be the darkest red on this watermelon. So I want to come back in and put little tiny slice marks in it. I'm now going to go move on to my Serpentine Genuine again. And remember, I had these like little marks here where I wanted the darkest green. So now my paper is still damp, so that I can add these without running the risk of it bleeding every which way, but I can still add the darkest green color. And this one just barely has any dark green. Alright, and I don't mind the bleeds. I don't mind it moving out, because I really wanted this to be kind of an organic, realistic but organic shape on here. So I'm going to go into my nickel azo, and I'm just going to pop in some bright yellow colors in this little crack area. Where I think it might even be brighter. And let that dry. Now I'm going to go into, it's like a pyrrole red. It's more of an orangey red. And I'm trying to keep this video down to like less than 30 minutes. So it's easier for me to download and transfer and keep it, save it. And I think it's more enjoyable for you guys that if it's just a smaller video. So now I'm doing like a super intense red. And I'm just kind of breaking up the monotony of those colors. And I'll put some of this bright red here. Some green and some of this, the pyrrole red that I just had, and I want to go back under this area. This is my shaded area. So it's going to come right up underneath this melon. Almost on both sides, but I really want it to come up this way. And it will be thinner down here at the bottom. So I'm gonna remember, my quill can take water away and add water. So that's what when I damp it onto this little towel, I'm making it dry so that it can soak up water. But I really love the shade that it's bringing. I love that color. I might add some more of this red into. There we go. I need some more white black. There we go. And again, I just want to dab it underneath this side of the watermelon. And because my paper is still wet, it's going to move. It's going to look like I'm barely even having to do any kind of work. It'll do the work for me. That's what we love about watercolor. All right. Now, I know I like a watermelon that doesn't have seeds. I'm a seedless watermelon girl. I will pay the extra money for a seedless, but for aesthetic purposes, I want to go ahead and add seeds. But before I do that, there's a hard line right here that I want to soften on both my melons. Remember I told you that the opera pink will move once you get it rehydrated, and I'm going to take my wet quill and then I'm going to damp it away. And then I want to dance these out. Okay, water again, and just where that white pithy part of the watermelon touches the opera pink, I'm going to try to soften that again. And if I need to go back into the opera pink, I can just come in here. Oh, now that I did not want. I don't want brown in my white area. So because my paper is super hydrated over on this side, it's gonna, if I break that barrier down, it's gonna add weird brown colors, and I don't want that. But I did add some more opera pink to that one. Okay. I think for safety reasons, I think I'm going to just grab my heated tool just to get this side flat again. I don't want that brown going into my melon. Okay, so it's not fully dry, but it's not super saturated either. Okay, so now moving on to lamp black. So I'm going to get water, I'm going to hydrate, get it set out, because we're almost finished. Now, watermelon seeds are not all super black, so once I set one down, I will come back with my brush to soak up some. Okay, so I'm going to just rinse my brush out, and now I'm going to come back because there's puddles on here. So I just kind of want to hint that there's a seed. Maybe there's a layer of pink membrane still on these. So I'm going to take away that black. It kind of leaves like a halo of black color. Okay, so that was our first layer of seeds. And unfortunately, this is going to be a seedy watermelon. We're going to be spitooning it. Okay, so now that I've got that first layer of black, I'm going to come back and put my darker value black seeds. Not too many. Here we go. And now I'm going to really rinse out my brush. In fact, I'm going to stop using my quill and I'll just go back to my size 6 velvet because, and with clean, clean, clean water, I'm just going to add water to my titanium white. And I'm just going to reactivate it. Doodle, 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 doodle. I'm going to roll it around in my brush, get it very activated. I don't know that I'm done with my, yeah, I definitely know I'm not done with my, let me hold off on this. See, things happen. So I'm going to rinse my brush, but I do want to get darker shadowing, so I'm going to pull in that pyro to my lamp black and add some of this green to it. I love a big mixing tray. Okay. Remember, I dried it, so now it's not wet on wet, it is wet on dry. So now I have to push for this background, or this shadow. And I'm also going to add a watery version of this color back here. just touched a watermelon seed and none of mine. Alright, so now, watermelon's glossy. I'm going to really rinse out my brush. I don't like this hard edge, so I'm just going to get it wet. There we go. So watermelon is glossy, so we're going to come in with our titanium white. And titanium white does not cover. It just, it just mixes with your, let me see, I really want a white edge here. We're just kind of showing glossiness. Underneath the seeds, that seed just took it. I didn't mean for that to happen, but it happened. Let's see if I can't pull it out. And there it goes. Feel like your whites are too white, take it out. Alright. I think we're gonna splatter now. I'm gonna move my white completely out of the way, and I've got some paper towel on the ready. Kind of cover my desk. Oh, I don't want to. Yeah, I do. So I want to come in here and grab both this opera red or opera pink and the red. I want to get my brush super hydrated, and now there we go. I know y'all really can't see all of it, but now I'm going to come into my dark color that I did, and I'm going to splatter some just down here at the bottom. And then now, rinse my brush off again, come into my ultramarine, French ultramarine, I need more water. Okay. My French ultramarine, and do some splatters up on top. Here we go. I feel like that's a done picture. Okay, so I am finished, and we did it in 30 minutes, or less than 30 minutes. So that was today's tutorial, but I had a surprise for you. So because I did this today, and I only did one, I wanted to show you what I did last night. I did a whole series. Remember, I'm doing, I am doing the 4-panel postcards. So I did one in each kind of flavor of watermelon. So I did a big giant watermelon cut in half. I did a slice of watermelon. Hold on, let me see. I'm a little, there we go. And then I did a watermelon popsicle and a watermelon kind of minty lemonade kind of thing. So this is my 4-panel, so that I didn't have to take more than 30 minutes on this tutorial. So thank y'all for watching. Thank you for coming. Again, this is today's tutorial up close, kind of abstract-y watermelon slices. So thank y'all so very much, and hopefully I'll see y'all tomorrow at 5 o'clock at the McAllister Public Library. I'm going to be doing an in-person tutorial on watercolors. You don't need to bring anything. Just please come and bring yourself. And I know that we're going to have a lot of fun, and it will be really nice to see everybody there, and I definitely will enjoy teaching you guys. Thank you so very much, and y'all have a good day.